Welcome everybody to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we'll be talking about Bitcoin like we normally do, but we'll be talking about some other cryptocurrencies and altcoins, and looking at the charts, trying to figure out where these cryptocurrencies might go in price. But the big news headline for today was Bitcoin having an executive order signed by Donald Trump for Bitcoin to be implemented into 401k's. Right now, we see the price of Bitcoin currently at $116,700. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that news article here that I just seen on CNBC here. And it's saying that Bitcoin jumps as Trump is set to sign an order that allows cryptocurrencies and 401k's. Guys, can I get a quick sound check? Let me just make sure that you guys can actually hear me. Alright, because sometimes I forget to turn the mic on every now and then. But yeah, this is good for Bitcoin. We'll take a look at this article here, see what it has to say about Bitcoin going into 401k's now. Okay, so this article continues on to say that the crypto market jumped Thursday on excitement that Bitcoin and other digital assets could soon be coming to 401k retirement plans. Donald Trump is set to sign an executive order that would allow 401k accounts to invest in alternative assets, including private equity, real estate, and digital assets. The price of Bitcoin climbed around 1% to reclaim the $116,000 level for the first time since July 31st. Ether rose almost 5%, also retaking a one-week high. Crypto-linked stocks got a boost of energy as well. Coinbase gained 3%. Galaxy Digital advanced 6%, and Ether Treasury stock Bitmine Immersion rose nearly 8%. It goes on here to say in this article that the widespread inclusion of Bitcoin in America's retirement accounts has long been viewed as a holy grail for crypto adoption. Conceivably, it would make the cryptocurrency a mainstay of U.S. financial infrastructure, expand access, and encourage longer-term investing in the asset. The retirement market is currently worth $43 trillion. And almost $9 trillion of it is held in 401k plans. The crypto market is nearly $4 trillion today. So this is a lot of money that could possibly be going into a cryptocurrency world here, guys. More people now have access to cryptocurrency because of this executive order that Donald Trump is going to be signing here soon. But I'll continue on, see what Mike Novogratz had to say. He said that this is a monster pool of capital. What we're seeing is the aperture of being able to buy crypto being widened and widened as more avenues bring people into the tent. When it becomes commonplace, when we can do it at the place you've already been doing business with, if it's Fidelity or T. Rowe Price or whoever it is, you just pull more people into this ecosystem. And because of all this good news here, you know, we're seeing the price of Bitcoin actually climbing up here today at $116,740, up 1.5% today. And I don't know, guys. Put in the comments, put in the live chat. Do you plan on using your 401k to buy some more Bitcoin? Would you be okay with your company, whoever you're working for, doing that on your behalf as the world's greatest asset continues climbing up in price and continues making more money for more people here? I don't know. You tell me. Leave it in the comments here. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are about that. I know some of us already know how to buy Bitcoin without having our employer do it for us. Okay, but yeah, let me know if you guys think this is okay or if you think this is a bad idea, and then let me know what you think. You know, they should do next after they made this available to everybody. I think they need to start working on that Bitcoin strategic reserve that they said that they were going to do. Sounds like Donald Trump is very pro crypto here. I'm surprised they haven't worked on, you know, adding more Bitcoin to their United States government's balance sheet here. They've only added the Bitcoin that they already confiscated from illegal criminals and criminal activities. But I'm wondering if we're about to go the route, especially with Bitcoin being at $116,000. You can make the case that, you know, it might be worthwhile to add Bitcoin to a strategic reserve. the one that they already have. Just add a little bit more. It doesn't hurt, right? To add a little bit more. Okay. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get the likes to match the amount of people that are in the live stream right now. I am doing a TikTok live stream right now, and I'm doing a YouTube live stream. So if you see this little phone in front of me, that's my TikTok stream. But I have to, that's the only way I can do it right now is to do it on the phone. Until I don't know, do they? I don't even know if they let you do a live stream on the computer, but it'd be so much easier if I could just do a live stream on the computer with both TikTok and YouTube. But this is how we do it. Kind of looks like I have a microphone, right? My little big microphone. Anyways, let's get into the technical analysis here on Bitcoin. Okay. Currently, Bitcoin trading at 116,500. We are getting a little bounce off of this buy zone that I had here. I was planning on buying some more Bitcoin if I could, below 112k down to like 107k. We still could come down there for whatever reason. We still haven't really made a higher high. We're actually making lower highs here in the daily time frame here. So this rally needs to get above, at least I would say, we have to actually get ourselves back up to like 119k, 120k here. Okay. Looks like Bitcoin is on the Fibonacci trying to catch its way up to the 786 retracement at 117.9k. Okay. This would be a good area for us to recapture. This was an area that we kind of traded sideways for like most of the middle of July here to the end of July. If we do that, that would probably make investors and traders around the world more confident about Bitcoin. We still have to go up there. We have another $1,000 to go. I think Bitcoin can do it, but if it's not able to do it, and we do something like this, right? We actually come up and then make a lower high again. Yeah, then it's going to be bad news bear as we start coming back down and try to retest the 112k area all over again. And if we lose that 112k area, then I'm looking at, this 50-day moving average, this green line here. It's now sitting at 108,599. That green line is climbing up to higher prices. So maybe we might get support if we do come down, and that support might be at this 0.5 retracement at 110.7k here. All right. So we'll see. I was thinking, about a few days and about a week ago that we could see maybe 108k, 107k, but as we continue to stay above 108k, this green line is now saying that, the support might actually be 109 or 110k on the 50-day moving average. Okay, and the 50-day moving average is pretty important because there are traders and investors that use moving averages, and they'll use the 50 moving average and they'll say, hey, when it gets down to that level, I will buy it. I will try to buy what I perceive to be relatively cheap Bitcoin at that price. Okay, so it's good to see that this 50-day moving average is still climbing up and to the right, and we haven't touched it yet. Okay, I'm not sure what more positive catalysts we need for Bitcoin to go up to higher prices, but I think being added to 401k's should send us back up to what? It should send us back up to 123k. We should see new all-time highs with that news. We also have going back to the news articles here, we also have the SEC that said that they will allow staking tokens are not securities. Okay, so staking tokens, which is like Ethereum, Solana, anything that has a yield to it, are not considered securities. So that's a big win for DeFi. I don't really need to get into the news article there. I just want to show you the headline. So there's a lot of positive catalysts in cryptocurrency world right now. And then we have the possibility of them lowering interest rates next month in the next September FOMC meeting. I can't see why we're not able to go to new all-time highs with Bitcoin. Okay, this might have been the dip, the buying opportunity that you will get for crypto. We actually came down to the 618. Okay, we actually went below the 618, and we got a bounce, off 112k, which was the previous all-time high back in what was it? I can't remember, was it May or June? No, it was May. Yeah, May we got up to 112K. So we already back tested the previous all-time high to the T here on Saturday, this past Saturday here. And I think that was it. That was your buying opportunity. If you didn't buy the dip, I mean, you missed out. Okay, you can still possibly maybe buy the dip now, or buy the price right now, knowing that you can put a stop loss at 111.9K, and then, you know, hopefully you don't get hit as Bitcoin continues going up to higher prices here. But it's getting really tough to short Bitcoin now because so many positive catalysts out here, and we all know, you know, for those who know the 4-year cycle, we know this is where we start to get the exponential move here on Bitcoin. And I just want to show you another indicator here for Bitcoin that indicates that we should be going to higher prices. All right, and that is the Pi cycle indicator. Okay, some of you might be aware of this Pi cycle indicator, some of you might not. Let me go ahead and get rid of some of the movement averages so I don't confuse you guys. But the Pi cycle indicator is this orange and green line here, okay? Which usually when the orange line actually catches up to the green line, that indicates the top of Bitcoin. Right now, the green line is sitting at $181,000 Bitcoin. That means that the price of Bitcoin needs to literally go to $181,000 right now, like this very second, before we can even say that Bitcoin is coming to a top here on the cycle. Okay, just going back and showing you how useful this orange and green line indicator is, this Pi cycle indicator. The last time the orange line caught up to the green line, right, was back here in 2021, when we know that that's when Bitcoin topped out, had its you know, cycle top 4 years ago. And this occurred like around like April of 2021, when you could have sold your Bitcoin for like $60,000, right? And you would have avoided all this mess. Granted, you kind of had like some saving grace here where you came back up in November, right? But when this orange line hits the green line, that's when I'm going to say, you know what, guys, we are done with this cycle. I don't care if people are talking about super cycle. People are going to be talking about, people talk about super cycles back here when Bitcoin was at $60,000. You know what? Super cycles, in my opinion, I would never subscribe to that belief that there's going to be a super cycle. Usually when people are talking like that, that's a good time to start selling some of your crypto, in my opinion. Okay? Because super cycles don't take into account that, you know, there are real world events that can affect the markets. Like, you know, we could have a war breakout between China and Taiwan, and you think we're still gonna have a super cycle if China is attacking Taiwan and America gets involved, you know? Or if you know, Iran actually gets the bomb and blows up Israel. Like, do you really think the market's gonna take that too kindly and allow you to continue with a super cycle? I don't think so. Okay. All right. And then there's also just market specific things, like, you know, what if we get another hack, you know, with Bybit. You know, Bybit got hacked earlier this year, and that sent the markets down. What if a bigger exchange like Binance or Coinbase gets hacked, okay, and shakes the confidence in the market? Okay. So I wouldn't subscribe to the super cycle, because, you know, a black swan event could just rain down on your parade there. But last time we saw the orange line catch up to the green line before 2021. All right, as I zoom back out here, you know, we saw it back here in 2017. In December 2017, the orange line caught up to the green line. Okay, and that was a good time to sell your Bitcoin, right? December of 2017. So I'm still subscribing to this Pi cycle indicator as an indicator that's going to tell me when I should start selling my crypto and selling my Bitcoin, and that this cycle might be coming to an end. Okay, it doesn't hit it on the exact day, but it definitely does it within like a week or two. Okay, and right now we're still, you know, we still have a lot of room, a lot of runway ahead of us. Okay, where this orange line is sitting at $106,000 and it hasn't even caught up to the green line yet. So I think that Pi cycle indicator is giving me a lot of optimism here that we can still see higher prices here for Bitcoin. Just to make a long story short, okay. I see John 316's in the chat. Of course, he's always requesting Chronos. We'll put that as one of the requests here. I guess I'll start writing down requests. And if my TikTok guys, if you guys have requests, you can put that in as well, and we'll look at the cryptocurrencies on the chart here. Okay. But yeah, that's you know, my upside downside targets for Bitcoin long term. I'm subscribing to believe that we'll see Bitcoin go to $180,000. That's also where the 3618 is sitting at $188,000. So I think $188,000 Bitcoin is still a possibility here. And you know, near term target, I think maybe we might see $130,000 Bitcoin either this month or next month, according to the 1272 fib extension level here. Downside targets, I think we already covered it, but we could see Bitcoin come back to $112,000 and retest it one more time. Or we could see Bitcoin actually come down to the 50-day moving average, which is currently sitting at $108,600. Alright, so those are your upside downside targets on Bitcoin. Let me just look at my comments here for my TikTok guys. Alright, so far not many requests here on TikTok, but that's okay. You guys might be a little bit shy, or you might not know how we run things here on this live stream, but I usually do requests on your favorite cryptocurrencies, and I also talk about stocks too. If you guys want to talk about stocks, we can talk about that. You know, the markets are open for at least in the United States. We can look at stocks as well, but I guess we'll move on to Kronos, and then Ava Medina has said Medina wants to look at Trump coin. All right. And now I got a request for XRP. All right, we'll look at that after Trump coin. All right. You guys have to excuse me. I have a little summer cold. Somebody got me sick while I was on vacation. So, it is what it is. I'll try my best. But, yeah. Let's look at Kronos. And you know, John 316, I forgot that Kronos is actually affiliated with was it crypto.com, right? So it's a decentralized financial cryptocurrency, and I think they have credit cards too, right? So I think that should be like they have crypto credit cards, so that should be one reason why they'll stick around. If they're making money, they'll stick around longer than the other cryptos, I'll tell you that. But what are we looking at for Kronos? Kronos is currently trading at about just under 15 cents here, up 3.54% today, and it's back to like the highs that it made back on July 29th, where we got as high as like 15 cents. Looks like we almost tested 15 cents here. We got 0.1499. Come on, you can do better than that. But looks like Kronos is on its way to higher prices. And if it is, and if Bitcoin goes up to new all-time highs, then you know, or retest the 123k area, then we're probably going to see Kronos come up to this 1272 at 16.1685 pennies here. Get that 1272 level there, and then we also have the 1618 level here, saying that Kronos could get up to like 19 cents. Okay, I gotta get rid of the pi signal indicator. It's no longer applicable here. And those are your upside targets. You know, 19 cents for Kronos, which is confluent to where Kronos was trading at back in December of last year. We saw a 19-cent Kronos, so I still think that's a possible price target, upside price target for Kronos. So, you know, I will put a line here in the sand saying that this is your take profit target. Okay, TP1 or 2, whichever one you want. But we'll just say TP1 for now. Okay. Then you have a 2618 that says that this thing could get up to like 26 cents here. So maybe that might be your take profit target too, for you long-term investors out there. I mean, you might see that later on in 2025 here. Okay. So TP2. Okay. And that's just using the fib extension levels here. Okay. Has Kronos been up to 26 cents? It has. Looks like we were at those levels back in 2022. So I still think these are reasonable levels to be expecting for Chronos, for your upside targets. I gotta zoom back in again. And I'm just trying to see what the downside might be for Chronos. Okay, you might come back down to the 21 EMA, which is sitting at 13 cents, which is confluent with the 786 retracement. Okay, if we're not able to bust out of this 15-cent level here, you might come and retest 13.5 cents again, just to see if there's still demand for this asset before you go up to higher prices. So that could be like another higher low that gets formed as we go up to higher prices here. If it's a deeper retracement, then we might retest the 618 retracement at 12 cents. Okay, so either 12 or 13 cents could still be downside targets, but I think this asset's looking pretty strong, and as long as they're able to continue making money, there's going to be a use case for this asset as more people start to realize that Chronos is worth getting into. And John says he's going to be selling it when it gets to 50 cents. Okay, I mean, I would expect you to at least sell something if it does get to 50 cents. Yeah. All right. And Lisa says you can't hear me, but you're watching. Let me just do another sound check. I kind of want to hear. And the music seems to be pretty good. Yeah, music's not overbearing. Leon Noel's asked him, what is a 401k? Here in the United States, I don't know if you're somewhere else, but here in the United States, we have retirement plans, and a 401k is like a retirement plan that is usually run and operated by someone's employer. So you have to be employed, and you can put money towards your retirement by being in the 401k. Yeah, it's a retirement plan for employees. It's like the simplest way I could explain it to you. But yeah, Bitcoin and crypto is going to be allowed to be going into 401k's now. Northern Detectorist says, bro, check out Sheeb on base chart. Trust me, get involved. $300,000 spent on marketing already. So Sheeb on base. Okay. If I can pull that up, I will. And let's see. Do I have any other comments and requests here? I think that's it for now on my TikTok, guys. All right. Moving on to Trump coin. And then XRP is coming up next. And guys, I'm going to be doing basically a 2-hour live stream till like 2 p.m. Eastern time. So don't you worry. We still got some time to look at your coins and these charts here. Try to do a nice solid 2-hour live stream here. Yeah. So look at that Trump coin currently trading at $9, up 2% today. We're looking at the daily chart. Trump coin became a thing back in like January, right before Trump got inaugurated on January 20th. This thing came into existence on January 19th. Got as high as, how high on Binance? Got as high as like $77, but now we're here at $9. So it's looking like a typical altcoin, right? Just selling off and losing 90% of people's money. All right, you gotta be careful with these meme coins because you could lose like almost 90% of your money. Just gotta put that disclaimer out there, okay? But here we are looking at Trump coin. I'm expecting you're probably looking for, you know, this thing to bottom out and maybe a bounce to higher prices here. Looks like the lowest low for the year was $7.14. So you could probably put a conservative stop loss right here at like $7.14. If this thing loses $7.14, then you probably want nothing to do with Trump coin, because unless you're in it for the novelty, this thing's probably going to lose you money if it goes below $7.14, because it could be in for lower prices if that's the case. All right, but right now Trump coin above 714, and looks like the last significant low, most recent significant low was $8.30. So you can even put a more tighter stop loss at like maybe $8.20 and hope that doesn't get hit. Recently, we got as low as $8.43 on August 2nd here. So you are, creating higher lows and also a double bottom. This could be considered a double bottom here at the $8.40 area. And if this is a double bottom, the measured move for a double bottom is you measure from where the double bottoms are at to the high in between the two bottoms, and you basically put that measured move to the top of the top in between the two bottoms here, right? And it gives you your measured move of about, looks like we could get up to $15.23 if this double bottom plays out for Trump coin. Okay. Now, just looking at the moving averages for resistance, if we were to go to higher prices here, you probably, I don't know if too many traders have the 21 EMA on their chart, this white line, but I know a lot of traders do have the 100 and the 50-day, and right now the 100-day is sitting at $10.51, and 50-day is sitting at $10.63, so this is probably going to be your take profit target 1, okay? Somewhere over here is going to be a TP1, okay? So let me just put that in there. TP1. And then you have a 200-day moving average that's starting to form. This asset hasn't been around long enough, but now you're starting to get a 200-day moving average, and that's sitting at like $12.70. So this could be a take profit target 2. Right over here, okay? TP2. So I'm thinking just game planning this out. If you're day trading this asset, you're probably gonna try to go for $10.61 here. And if you do that, right, you're looking at a 17% gain from where you are right now. Slap on 10x leverage, and that's about 170% gain. Okay. And then your take profit 2, target 2, if you're swing trading it or doing like a long-term day trade or whatever you want to call it, you got a 41% gain in that case if it does make it up to this area right here, which is confluent with where we were trading at back in like May earlier this year, where we had like $12 Trump coin. Okay, so you got a 41% gain, slap some 10x leverage on that, that's a 410% gain. And then of course, take profit target 3 is going to be like probably at $15 here, okay, which is the measured move of the double bottom, and it's also where these candlewick highs were back in April of earlier this year. All right, so hopefully that gives you an idea as like what the upside targets might be for Trump coin, just using moving averages and the double bottom. All right, let's see. CC saying Trump is pretty much at the bottom, hopefully, for it. Yep, it looks like that to me. Could be a bottom, right? But downside target, if we're not able to hold $8.30, we might come down to the $7 area. And if we're not able to hold $7.14, then it might get a lot more uglier out there for Trump coin. All right, we also have some requests here for H-Bar and Cardano. Appreciate the request. Don't forget to hit that like button, especially if I'm going over your coin and giving you this free technical analysis here on your assets. All right, and let's see. Leon Knoll, you said trade with an asterisk. I don't know what that means. Oh, and Leon saying you're German. Okay, I don't know if they have 401k's in Germany, but they probably do have a similar retirement program, I believe. It's just they don't call it 401k's in Germany, so that makes sense that you don't know what it is because you live in a totally different country. But I appreciate you coming and watching the live stream here. Hopefully you're able to understand what I'm saying as well. Sounds like you do. Alright, so I'm guessing that you speak German and you speak English if you're watching my live stream here. Is that the case? I find it interesting that I have people from Europe that are watching my live streams here. Appreciate you coming on. Let's take a look at XRP now. And XRP finally got above $3. I thought XRP Army was going to be able to keep us above $3, but we had a little bit of a scare, right? This weekend when XRP came as low as like $2.73 on Saturday, because a lot of other coins and assets were getting a little bit of a scare because we had, you know, the Trump tariffs went into effect on August 1st, and then we also had a bad jobs report, which, you know, scared the markets on Friday, and that continued on into Saturday. But it looks like, yeah, people realize, hey, you know, bad jobs report means that Federal Reserve is most likely going to lower interest rates in September. So people put that 2 and 2 together, and we got a quick reversal out of this 0.5 retracement here on XRP. And now we're kind of hanging out near the 618, which could act as, you know, resistance for now. This golden pocket. All right, we got to show that we're able to stay above $3. Okay, and then we can start making our way up to the 0.786 retracement at $3.28. If you're day trading it, that probably be your take profit target one. Okay, and then of course, if you're swing trading it, you're trying to see if you can get back up to $3.66, which will give you a nice 20% gain from where you are right now. And then if you're in it for the long term, we do have a upside target here of $4.13, which is the 1272 fib extension. And then we have the 1618 saying we could see $4.74 for XRP. And I basically get these fib numbers because I just drew from like $3.66, which is where we topped out here on Friday, July 18th. And I took it all the way down to $1.90, which is like where we kind of bottom out here around June 22nd. Okay, and that's how I got this these fib levels here. Okay. And I think, you know, these fib levels will hold true, and we'll see. I like it when the moving averages can give us like some confluence and can agree with the fib levels here. But most of the moving averages for XRP are right below us. So, you know, if XRP decides to go down to lower prices here, right, and we lose that 272, 273 area, then we do have the 200-day sitting at 245 and the 50-day sitting at 249. That could be your next area of support if XRP, you know, does a little poopy doop and goes down to lower prices here. You know, you should get some support at that area. I think $2.50, you know, just is a psychological number where people are like, hey, I could buy cheaper XRP at $2.50, and they'll start putting in their buy limit orders if we actually do go down to that level. All right, Karen wants to look at, yeah, we got Cardano. Let's see, do I have any more requests? We're going to get to Cardano. Right after XRP, we have to look at the Shiba Inu on Base Network, and then HBAR, and then we got Cardano after that. But I got you. All right, so that's downside target, and I covered upside targets for XRP. I think I'm ready to move on to the next crypto here, Shiba Inu. And you said Base on Base Network? Trying to see if I can find that on the exchanges here, but I can't. So I'll just look at Shiba Inu on Coinbase. How about that? Okay. All right. So Shiba Inu currently trading at 1261, up 2.27% today. And what do we got here for Shiba Inu? I do have previous chart work here. Let me get rid of this for now. Just to look at previous price action history here, you know, Shiba Inu has been at higher prices, you know, back in December of 2024. So this thing is high as like 3,400. So you have like a nice 66% correction, I believe, on Shiba Inu. I highlighted this level here. This red line is a line that you do not want to go below. Do not go below 1,000 on Shiba Inu, okay? Because you see we have some candlewick lows. We bottom out here a couple of times already, like back here in April and here in June. All right. And then also this was kind of like a resistance area back in like 2023. Okay. Do not go below 1,000. It's a very easy number to remember, right? Okay, so now that we know that's the downside target, if we are going to be bearish on Shiba Inu, can Shiba Inu be bullish? Well, in my opinion, anytime an asset's below the 200-day moving average, which is this red line here, you have to be bearish. You cannot be bullish until you get above the 200-day moving average. That 200-day moving average is sitting at 1375. Now you can see like the bar to get above that 200-day moving average. This 200-day moving average is going down, down, down. So it's getting a little bit more easier for this thing to climb above that 200-day moving average. All we have to do is get up to 1375, which is what, only 100 points away, roughly. You do have a lot more moving averages up here that could act as resistance. You got the 50 and the 100. 100 sitting at 1300 and the 50 sitting at 1317. So when this thing gets at 1300, it might like go sideways for a little bit before it tries to jump to higher prices here. But this is very interesting because you got the moving averages are very close. They're very tightly bunched up with each other. This could mean that Shiba Inu might be ready for an explosive move up to the upside. And if it does, I would expect maybe to try to retest the last high here in the daily time frame when this thing got up to like 1598 on July 21st, which is what, only a couple of weeks ago. And then the explosive move up could send us to even higher highs. We got to get above the other high back here in May when this thing was at 1764. But yeah, you know, right now, you know, it's bearish on Shiba Inu, but we could possibly be bottoming out, right? You made lower highs. Obviously, you made lower lows. This is a lower high here in May and a lower high here in July. We got to start making higher highs. If you make higher highs, then you can say you're in the beginning of an uptrend on Shiba Inu. And you could say you're possibly bottoming out as well. This could be the possible bottoming out of Shiba Inu. Now, let me throw on the oscillators here. We'll see what the RSI is showing. The RSI is this red line here that I use. Let me just, oh, this is very interesting here. We'll talk about this later, but not right now. I'm looking to see if there's any bullish divergence on Shiba Inu. And bullish divergence would be you making lower lows on the price, but you start making higher lows on the RSI. And I see a higher low here on June 22nd compared to this over here on August 1st, August 2nd. So I see the higher low here on the RSI. But, you know, we're also making a higher low here on the price. So this really isn't bullish divergence. But still, this is positive to see. That you're making higher lows on price and you're making higher lows on RSI. So not bullish divergence, but still positive to see on the charts. Now, here's the thing that I just caught, you know, off a glance here. We did get a green buy dot on Thursday, today. You have a green buy dot on the daily time frame here for Shiba Inu. The last time you had a green buy dot was on June 24th. And then look what happened. You got all this positive price action to the upside before you got that red dot. The red dot showed up here on July 22nd saying that you should have sold Shiba Inu around that time and you would have avoided all this mess right here where we went down to lower prices. So this market cipher B, right? This thing is like a little cheat sheet, especially on the daily time frame. It tells you like when's a good day. If you're not sure when's a good day to sell, when you see that red dot come up, time to sell. If you're not sure when's a good day to buy, see that green dot? Good time to buy. And you had all these green and red dots all throughout the past year now on Shiba Inu. It's like a little cheat sheet telling you that, hey, buddy, good time to buy is today. So you got that happening literally today on Shiba Inu. So that's very interesting to see. This means that Shiba Inu might see some better days and some better weeks coming up here. And I believe it, because just look at the RSI and looking at the moving averages here. They're tightly bunched. This thing is ready to go up to higher prices, in my opinion. I already told you, like, the upside targets here. You know, you gotta get past 1375, but then after that, you want to see if you can get it past and make a higher high to get above 1598 here on Shiba Inu. I see Duality C is in the live stream for my YouTube. Appreciate you coming in. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Let me know if you have any requests here. And CC is asking about the green and red dots on Shiba Inu. Yeah. Market Cipher B is a very interesting indicator to add. I have the free version. You know, this is actually you have to pay for this stuff, but looks like somebody was able to create it and use the data for free. And this is by Falcon Coin. Okay, Market Cipher B free version with buy and sell on, you know, with Falcon Coin. Okay, you might want to add that indicator to your trading view charts here. Okay. I have noticed there are people that pay for it, and sometimes they get a little bit better data, and the buy and sell indicators, you know, occur faster. But I don't know. I think the free version is just as good. Okay, and the free version is saying that today's a good day to buy Shiba Inu, and it makes sense to me just looking at the charts. All right, moving on from Shiba Inu to HBAR, and then we got Cardano after that. All right, HBAR currently trading at 24 cents, a little bit under 25 cents, at up 1.74% today. Looking at the daily time frame for HBAR, you're currently hovering around the 618 Fibonacci at 23 cents and the 65 Golden Pocket at 24 cents. We're just waiting to see if this thing is going to start catching some bids to get back up to the 0.786 retracement at 26 cents. I don't see any much moving average support here besides the 200-day could provide support at 20 cents. If we were to, you know, go down to lower prices here, this could be a good area to start buying your HBAR at cheaper prices here. 20 cents, that's like a 20% move down in price. You'd be getting like a 20% discount on your HBAR if it does go down to that 200-day moving average. So that's your downside target, that 200-day moving average, in my opinion. Upside target, let's see if we can get back up to 30 cents again like we did here on July 27th. Okay, I believe that's also like a 20-25% move up, right? Let me just measure that out real quick. You can get back up to 30 cents here. Yeah, it's about like a 20% move, 23% move up in price from where we are right now. And then you got a fib extension saying that if we do continue the higher prices here, you can get up to 35 cents here on HBAR before somebody clicks the sell button on you. And that's about a 42% gain. And then you get the 1618 saying that this thing could possibly get up to like 41 cents here. And that's about a 67% gain. Slap on like maybe 10x leverage, that's a 670% gain. You're leverage trading it. But yeah, I'm just looking at the previous price action history on HBAR, and we've seen HBAR actually get as high as like 40 cents here on January, earlier this year. So I think 40 cents, 41 cents, that's a good take profit target for HBAR, in my opinion. Not quite a double in price, but still, you know, significant gain for most people. If you want some more gains, maybe do 2x leverage, and then that 67% becomes 120%, and then you get your double. Duali says, could you possibly pick one? Grass, Degen. Well, we're talking about HBAR right now, and then Doge. And all right, I'll do grass because I'm actually in a day trade on grass. Maybe we can take a look at my day trade on Mexi Exchange, see how that's doing while I go over that for ya. Appreciate the requests. I'll add that on. We'll look at that after Cardano here. All right. Let's see. What do we have here for comments on TikTok? Spell it. CC wants you to spell something out. What did you want me to spell out? Oh, was it the indicator you want me to spell out? Market cipher B. If you want me to spell it out, you know, that's market cipher B. It's CIPHER letter B. That's the indicator that I use for my cheat sheet. When's a good time to buy and when's a good time to sell? You got it? All right. Awesome. Glad I was able to help you out. Okay. What's my prediction on HBAR for December? Well, you know, December is a few months away. That should be towards the peak of this bull run in crypto, I believe. Yeah, you know, some people think we're gonna have a bull run going into 2026. We'll see. You know, I know things there's a lot of cross currents at the end of December going into January, where people are either trying to sell their crypto or their profits. They're trying to take profits in December. That could cause, you know, a correction in the market in December. Then you got people who want to sell in January because they don't want to book their profits for this year. They want to book their profits for next year so they don't have to pay taxes until the year after that. So there's going to be a lot of interesting price action in December, I'll tell you that. But I still think HBAR could possibly get up to that 40-cent level by December. Okay, maybe it goes higher. Maybe we get 3618 at 59 cents. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I said 3618. I meant to say 2618. 2618 at 59 cents. So, and then if that's the case, you finally get your double in price for HBAR. All right, moving on to Cardano. ADA USD. Cardano currently trading at 75 cents, up 1.5% today. I'm just trying to zoom out here a little bit for you guys. And I mean, Cardano got as high as like 93 cents on July 21st. You know, caught a lot of bids here. After that stablecoin Genius Act passed and signed into law, it caught the bids just like a lot of other cryptos. Got above the 200-day moving average. That was nice to see. You know, my opinion about 200-day moving average, get above it and you can be bullish again. So we can be bullish on Cardano, and we can still be bullish because it's above the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average right now is sitting at 72 cents, which is that 72 cent area is confluent with the 0.5 retracement. So you got a lot going on in this chart here, especially with the Fibonacci and the moving averages here. I believe 71 cents should hold for Cardano. Okay, don't go lower than that. Okay, because that's where your 200-day moving average and your 0.5 is at. If you do come down, you might get a little peekaboo and come right back down to the 100-day moving average, which is sitting at 69 cents right now. But I mean, just drawing lines in the sand, I say do not lose 68 cents. Do not lose 68, 69 cents, because if you do that, then a lot of bad things will start happening here with Cardano, because you're losing all the moving averages, you're losing your 0.382 retracement. You'll probably maybe come down to the 0.236 retracement just to see if there's support there. But yeah, downside target, don't lose 68 cents, because then you might see 62 cents. But then going forward to upside targets here on Cardano, you know, you get past the 786 retracement at 82 cents. That's not too far away. It's like a 10% move up from where we are right now. Then try to reclaim that 89-cent level. Oh wait, I gotta redraw this. I gotta redraw this at like 93 cents. Yeah. Alright, so I guess I kind of changed the numbers up a little bit. But yeah, get past 93 cents here, and then we could start talking about $1 for Cardano. That's your 1272, and then $1.18 is your 1618. And you know, even further price target, possibly maybe later on in 2025, you might see the 2618 at $1.58 for Cardano, just based off of this Fibonacci here. So I know I made an adjustment on my Fibonacci, but I don't think it really changed the numbers too much here. Your 0.5 is 73 cents, your 0.382 is 68 cents, which we already said 68 cents was a pretty important level. And the 0.236 now becomes 63 cents, so not too much of a big of a change there. But I had to make that adjustment because I saw that the high was actually 93 cents here for Cardano back on July 21st here. Alright, that covers Cardano. We'll take a look at Grass, and we're going to take a look at Grass on Mexi Exchange, because I'm actually in a day trade on that one. Right now, looking at Mexi Exchange. I'm also in a day trade on Pudgy Penguins, right? And you can see my day trades down here. I'm in a 20x long on AI16Z, a 20x long on Grass, and a 20x long on Pudgy Penguins, and you can see they're all in the green right now. I bought this yesterday, so I don't know, some people say day trades are like you open it and you close it the same day. I guess you could call this I'm in a long-term day trade on these three assets here. I felt like I was able to cash the bottom yesterday on those assets, and I liked what I see. Yeah, but let's take a look at Grass. Because that was a request, and I'm in that day trade. Currently, I'm up 42% on Grass. Not as much as my Pudgy Penguins or AI16Z, but hey, you know, profit is profit, right? Alright, so as I put on Grass here on the chart, you can see that Grass is currently trading at 69 cents here. Let's go into a bigger chart here. We'll go into the daily time frame since we're used to looking at that. And you can see this is what the chart looks like for Grass, okay? Obviously Grass, looks like Grass started trading in October of last year on Mexi Exchange. And we got as high as like $3.97. This thing has been making lower highs and of course lower lows all throughout 2025 here. But this thing, you know, what caught my attention was that this thing was trading at the same price, right? At 69 cents. It was like the same price that it was trading at when it first started showing up on the exchange here on Mexi. So, you know, the risk is that it could continue going down to lower prices here. But, you know, with Bitcoin making new all-time highs and so many positive countouts in crypto, I think this thing is due for a bounce. Could be wrong. I don't know. There might be something wrong with this crypto. Maybe maybe the founders and the people that are developing this crypto, maybe they decided to give up on the project. I have no idea. But I felt like it was worth throwing my hat in the ring here with the prices being so low that we could get like at least a dead cat bounce here. Okay. So the lowest low that we've had this past few weeks was at 64 cents. This number right here. I bought in at like 67, almost 68 cents here. And I think when I first started, my stop loss was a little bit lower at like 60 cents or 62 cents, somewhere around that area. I've moved my stop loss on that to like 65 cents now. Even though we're currently trading at 69 cents, I think that's comfortable. That puts me probably at like a little bit of a loss, but I'll move the stop loss if we can continue climbing up to higher prices here. But if we continue to higher prices here on the daily time frame here, 21 EMA could act as resistance. This white line is sitting at what is it? I'm looking at like $1, I believe. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it right here. 83 cents. 83 cents is my 21 EMA. And then right here, we have the 50 MA sitting at $1.03. That's actually where I put my take profit target, is like $1. So I think, you know, when we get to the 50 moving average is probably where we'll get resistance. And you'll see that the dollar area was also, you know, an area where we had back here a few days ago, back in July 1st and June 30th. That's where we had candle. We had a body close and a body opening at that level. We opened at like 99 cents on July 1st. We had a close at like 99 cents here. So I think $1 to me is a good take profit target. It's also going to be where that 50 moving average should come down and hit and cause resistance as well. So that's my day trade. My day trade is I'm trying to stay in this until we get to $1, or you can call it my swing trade. My swing trade is I'm trying to stay at this at $1, and I got 20x leverage long on it. Let me go back to my trade here. If things do play out on my grass long here, the reason why I'm in it for a swing trade or a long-term day trade, you'll see what my P&L is, okay? Right now, if we go up to $1 on grass with my 20x leverage long, I should make $288 on that trade. And my stop loss is at 0.65. I'll only lose $25 if this thing, for whatever reason, decides to drop down to low prices here. Okay, so I think that's worth it, right? You know, lose $25 if I'm wrong, make $288 if I'm right. I think that's a good risk-reward ratio there. But hopefully that answers your questions about grass there. I mean, I could look at it on TradingView as well. Let me see. Did I actually do a Fibonacci on it? Let's see. I don't think I did. But yeah, you can see it's the same thing. 21 EMA sitting at 88 cents. Ooh, actually, the movement average is a little bit higher on this exchange. Let me see. Let me type it in again. See what I can find another one. Grass on just regular grass. Oh yeah, I did do some previous shot work here. Okay. I don't think this even is applicable anymore. Yeah. I can't really do a Fibonacci. The only Fibonacci I could probably do is like from where we started at 60 cents up to the highest here at 340. And it's going to look a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. At 340 down to that 60 cent level. 60 cents right there. Wow, if this thing just get right back to the 0.236 retracement, it's saying that this thing could get to $1.40. Maybe I gotta push my trade a little bit higher than that. Maybe $1 is not enough. Maybe I could push it up to $1.40. Oh, this is very interesting. I just thought I wasn't trying to be too greedy. I think $1 is still a good take profit target, but I could probably sell half there and then stay in the position until it gets to like $1.40 and make that like my take profit target too. Interesting. So I think, yeah, take profit target 1, $1. You know, don't be too greedy. But then take profit target 2 could be $1.40 on grass. All right. Let's see. Do I have any other requests here? Floki. We have a request for Floki. Okay. Write that down. Loki. And did I miss any other requests here? I think that's it for now. We'll take a look at Floki, and then I guess we'll take a look at Dogecoin since Duality asked for that as well. So we're now looking at Floki, currently trading at 11,200, up 4.8% today. This is another meme coin. Looks like we had some of our best days here for Floki in March of 2024. Oh my god, I got some previous chart work here from like, I looked at this thing like almost 2 years ago, I guess. Just getting rid of this previous chart work. I like the market structure on Floki so far. You are making, looks like the lowest low was April 7th. Then we had another low here in June 22nd. And could this possibly be like another higher low here? And you are above the 200-day moving average, so that's good to see with Floki as well. Okay, so right now I'm gonna consider myself to be bullish on Floki, because you're above the 200-day moving average, and you got your market structure showing higher lows, and you're also making higher highs than what we had back here in May. Looks like you did what you needed to do to get above that here in July. So Floki looking pretty solid so far, just eyeballing it. I think I want to turn on the VRVP here. I'm going to turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to say. This is this green and red indicator here on the right. The green is all the buys, the red is all the sells at specific prices, different price levels here. Very important level. The highest volume node where there's been a lot of buying and selling is this blue line here at 14,000 for Floki. That could be an area of resistance since we're below it. That could be a area of resistance, and this could be a first take profit target if you are longing Floki right now. Then after you get past that 14,000 level here, you got a gap in the VRVP, and then the next high volume node here is this 17,000 level here. Okay, that could be a take profit target too. And then if you move past that, you got a drop in the volume here, and then the value area high is sitting at 20,000. That could be another take profit target 3 maybe to the upside. But then you don't get the next high volume node until like 22,000. So you got some levels here that are very interesting for Floki. You know, take profit target 1 is going to be the PLC. Take profit target 2 is going to be 17,000, and then take profit target 3 is going to be 20,000. And if you get to 20,000, you're basically almost doubling your money with Floki, and you should strongly consider clicking the sell button. You don't have to sell everything, but you know, book in some profits. But now that we got the VRVP giving us some upside targets here, downside targets, you know, don't lose this low that you made. You made a higher low. Let's not lose that at 9,846. But if you lose that, then you might get some support. Maybe the 50-day acts as support at 9,500. But most likely the 200-day would act as support, as a solid support area, 87.85. So those are your downside targets on Floki, using just the moving averages here. I don't think I need to draw a Fibonacci here. I could, but I'm just going to stick to these moving averages for now as your downside targets. And I just gave you your upside target, 17,000 and 20,000. Those are going to be some good areas to be selling your Floki at. Alright. Moving on from Floki to take a look at Dogecoin. Appreciate the follow there, Hans Zamora. Thank you for coming on the live stream here. And yes, appreciate you sharing it with your friends and whoever else might be interested in looking at the charts here. We're looking at cryptocurrencies, but I can also talk about stocks as well. I'm just waiting for someone to make a request on a stock. But it seems like all the cool kids like talking about cryptocurrencies these days. So why not? Alright. Let's take a look at, we're going to take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin currently trading at 21 cents. And let's see, 21 cents, Dogecoin. What are we doing here? As I start to zoom in, we're on the daily time frame here. Looks like Dogecoin got above the 200-day moving average, this red line here. That's nice to see. That's sitting at 0.207 pennies here. So we're just skirting above it right now. But nice to see that you are doing that. If we are continuing to be bullish here on Dogecoin, we want to see us try to make it back up to this golden pocket level here at 23 cents. That is a normal retracement that should be expected for us to get back up there if we're gonna be bullish. It's only 2 cents away, right? But then if we continue being more bullish here on Dogecoin, then you know we do have a 786 retracement that could act as resistance at 25 cents or 0.257 pennies here. We didn't even use that as support when we came down. We just viciously came down here on July 23rd. We just cut right through that 786 retracement. But 786 retracement could act as resistance. And then for sure, we'll definitely see some resistance if we try to retest the highs here in July at 28 cents. Almost 29 cents. That was your high water mark here on July 21st for Dogecoin. Get to those levels. Try to get to 28 cents, and then once you get to 28 cents, then maybe we can start talking about higher prices here, where we have a 1618 of 37 cents. I think that's a long-term swing trade target for Dogecoin. That could happen later on in 2025. Kind of skipped over the 1272, but there could be some resistance at that level as well. But now I'll go into downside targets here on Dogecoin. Yeah. Stay above 20 cents, I think, is a psychological target. But 20 cents is also where the 0.382 is at. And it's also where the 50-day moving average is at. So don't lose 20 cents. That's now the magic number right now. Or else you're going to go lower. And you could get some support at the 100-day. Sitting at roughly 19 pennies. And then you got the 236 retracement at roughly 0.178 pennies. Lose this and then it could be game over and you're gonna go to low prices for sure on Dogecoin. But looks like you're catching the bounce here off the 100-day moving average, right? This 100-day moving average came and saved the day here on August 3rd on Sunday here. You can see that this thing came right down to that 100-day moving average, got the bounce at 0.188 pennies. So these moving averages are very important to add to your charts here if you're not using them. And then also the Fibonacci helps too. And using Fibonacci and moving averages together, when you see the levels are matching up with the moving average at the same level as the Fibonacci level, that's usually a really good level to eyeball and key on, because traders who are using moving averages and traders who are using Fibonacci are both looking at that level, and they're probably putting in their buys and sell orders when you got like confluence like that. Very strong level, very strong area. In this case, that's at 20 cents for Dogecoin. Don't lose 20 cents, which also happens to be a psychological number as well. For a lot of people to remember, like, oh, at 20 cents, I want to be buying Dogecoin. And for some people, they're going to say, oh, 20 cents is, I'm selling it because I don't want to go take any more pain after that. All right, we have a request here for CeeLo and TARS AI. Write these things down. CeeLo, TARS. Thank you guys for keeping me busy. I would appreciate it if you could click the like button. And for my TikTok guys, You just double tap your screen, and that's how you show show your likes for the stream. Let me just add some more water here. I'll be going live for like another 40 minutes here, and then I gotta go hit the gym. And check up on my trades as well. Make sure that you're still doing alright. Alright, good to see you coming into the chat here, Mario. And yes, I consider you my friend. I will look at TARS AI for you, but we're gonna look at CeeLo first, and then TARS AI. Alright. So here we got CeeLo currently trading at 31, almost 32 cents here, up 1.8% today. And we're just looking at the moving averages right now for CeeLo. You know, just like a lot of other altcoins and cryptos here, you have seen your better days here. You had it during the altcoin season of December of 2024. Came on down to lower prices, obviously. You had a high here in May at like 46 cents, and you try to go up to higher prices here in July, but you made another lower high here at like 40 cents, and you can see that we got rejected off that 200-day moving average, acting like a big bully. Okay. You shall not pass. And then we got pushed right back down to lower prices here. Okay. Alright. But that's okay. Because it looks like you formed a higher low possibly here on August 2nd. And just keep going up to higher prices. And we'll probably see us try to retest that 200-day moving average again, which is now at 36 cents. It'd be nice for us to get past 36 cents, right? Don't get rejected. Show that you can actually get above the 200-day moving average and close above the 200-day moving average. And then I want to see us actually get above this high here in July at 40 cents. If you can get, like, you know, higher than 40 cents, that puts you above the 200-day moving average. Also puts you creating a new higher high on the daily time frame, and then you can say that you're actually in an uptrend on CeeLo. So we shall see over the next few days and few weeks here if CeeLo can do that. But yeah, I want to see us get above 40 cents again on CeeLo. Stay above 40 cents as well. And then we start building up the bullish case here, right? You know, if I could draw this out here. Get above that 200-day moving average. And also get above the last high. Make a higher high. Then come back down. Make a higher low. Maybe, you know, by this point, the 200-day moving average will be sitting around here. Bounce off the 200-day moving average. Make a higher low, and then continue making higher highs. And I think you'll be doing quite fine here on CeeLo. That would be nice to see if we can do that. So I guess take profit target 1 for now is just get above 40 cents, and take profit 2, get above the high here in May at 46 cents. I think I'll just throw on the VRVP here so we can see what the long-term take profit target is going to be. Fire that bad boy up. So you got the VRVP here showing all these buys and sells. The green areas the buys, the reds the sells at different price levels. And the highest volume node where we had the most buying and selling action is this blue line here at 65 cents. I think 65 cents is going to be your take profit target, long-term take profit target. Maybe you might see that later on in 2025, going into 2026. And if you get up to 65 cents, I mean, you basically doubled your money, right? From where you're at right now. You should be clicking that sell button, and you can say thank you to CeeLo for helping you double your money. Let me get rid of the VRVP now. And just downside targets, right? I mean, you can put your stop loss right below this this candlewick low here on Saturday at 28 cents, so maybe like 27 cents or 28. You can probably just put it at 28 cents. If you lose 28 cents, then something's wrong, and you're probably gonna go down to lower prices here. You could be even more conservative, especially if you're in it for the long term and you're not using leverage trading. You could probably put your stop loss below this June 22nd low at 23 cents. And if you lose 23 cents, then there's something still wrong with CeeLo, and you probably don't want to stick around to find out. So, yeah. Stop loss at 23 cents on this asset. And that's CeeLo. Downside and upside targets. We'll now move on to TARS AI. Alright, there we go. TARS AI currently trading at 6 cents. Not really doing much today, but I have drawn previous chart work, and I have shown here that you do not want to go below this red line here. Okay? Which you kind of did for a little bit, but then you came back up. But this red line, you know, I put this as you shall not pass, right? This is a line that we came down to back here on May 7th. It's also been a line, if we see like previous, we had some resistance at that line as well. We have a body candle close at that level here back on May 2024. So I just identify that area as like, hey, this is an area that's very important for us not to lose. And if you lose that, then it's gonna be bad news bear, and I mean, you should probably enter a short in that case and try to bring this thing down. See if you get paid taking this thing from 5 cents down to like 2 or 3 cents, which is where we bottomed out here back in April. So TARS AI is flirting with danger here. I'm gonna get rid of this now. I don't really think we need that anymore. I'm gonna get rid of the moving averages for now as well. We do have a downtrend that we're trying to get out of, hopefully, if we're bullish. But let me extend this line some more. Okay. So we're kind of getting into like an area of confluence. I'm sorry, an area that we might get some resolution here soon, towards like the middle of August. If TARS AI is gonna go into the danger zone, then it loses this price of like 5.058 pennies here, and then it's game over. Okay. TARS AI can still stay alive just by going sideways, but that's just going to be frustrating as hell. But hey, it keeps you alive, right? But you know, if TARS AI can get above this downtrend that we're in, I say like, get up to like 7 cents. Show us that you can get up to like 7 cents, and then more people can get excited about putting their money to work on TARS AI. And then, you know, then you want to see if you can get above, you know, some of these previous highs here, like, you know, get above almost 10 pennies here, like you were kind of like at on July 11th here, and then get above this other high here on June 23rd, when we saw this thing as high as like almost 11.5 cents here. And you know, get to 11.5 cents, and you basically doubled your money on TARS AI. But I would like to see this thing at least get to 7 pennies. Show us that you're still alive and kicking. But even just staying where you're at 6 cents kind of like keeps you alive for now. But this thing is, I don't know. You're playing with danger here. You're playing with danger. Because with this downtrend and just the way you've been, you know, heading down into the right, the likelihood is that you're actually gonna break this, and you're gonna go low prices. Okay. So, but you have a lot of room to the upside if you decide to become bullish again here. Let me just turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to say. You got the point of control, the blue line, highest volume node at 8 cents. That could be a significant area of resistance. But once you get past 8 cents and up to like 9 cents, the VRVP volume drops. You got a little bit of volume here at 11 cents, which I think we already said should be an area that you should be selling. And then you get the value area high sitting at like 12 cents. So yeah, once you get to 12 cents, you doubled your money. You should be clicking the sell button. And that is TARS AI. John 3:16 says, we are finally in alt season. Since you mentioned that, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance will help us figure out if we're in altcoin season, if we're still in altcoin season. So now looking at Bitcoin dominance, currently trading at 61.5%. And yeah, a lot better than what it was back here in June. It was at like 65%. We want Bitcoin dominance to go down. For those who don't know, we want Bitcoin dominance to go down to lower levels, because that helps, you know, that helps the altcoins out a lot. And if you want your altcoins to go up in price, you want Bitcoin dominance to go down. Bitcoin dominance is currently at 61.5%. That means that out of the, you know, $4 trillion of money that's circulating in crypto, Bitcoin has about 61% of it. Bitcoin has like almost over $2 trillion in it, and the rest of it is in altcoins. Okay, like Ethereum, like Solana, like, you know, XRP and all the other ones. So we want to see Bitcoin dominance go down, which it is. And then if I turn the moving averages, we definitely want to see Bitcoin dominance below the 200-day moving average, which it did that back here on July 16th and July 17th. We finally came below it. And even better, when we try to go back up again, we got rejected. And then we came back up again here on August 2nd, and we got rejected again. So we want to keep doing this rejection. This could be basically like a bear flag, right? We could treat this like a bear flag, where this is the flagpole. You know, a bear flag is like an upside down flagpole here. Okay, and I'll just try to draw out the highs here as best as I can. I'll disregard that wick, but it's gonna look something like that. Okay, and if this is a bear flag on Bitcoin dominance, then you just take the flagpole, right? That becomes your measured move. You put it to like where we could break out, maybe like around here. And it's saying that Bitcoin dominance could fall further down to like 56%, that blue number right there. So that's our target for Bitcoin dominance. And if that's the case, maybe we might want to consider selling our altcoins when we get down to 56%. The way this thing is playing out right now. Let's see, is there any confluence there at 56%? I think so, right? 56% is a level. Let me see. Yeah, I want to zoom out a little bit more. It's a level where we got some tops here back on June 24th. Back in June 2024 and May of 2024, we had some topping action at that level. But yeah, 56% means that Bitcoin still holds like 56% of the total market cap of crypto. I think that might be. I think Bitcoin might want to still, you know, give us some pushback, because that'd be crazy if we lose 50% dominance. If more money starts going to altcoins than Bitcoin, then that is for sure an altcoin season. But yeah, we want to see, you know, for now, you know, we just want to stay below that 200-day moving average. Keep rejecting it. Don't go up above it. And you can say that you're in an altcoin season. And I think we'll be fine on our altcoins. You agree with me, Medina, on the 56% target for Bitcoin dominance? Yeah, it looks like that's what it's gonna play out to be. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing's 100% guaranteed. This is just probabilities, but it seems like that might be the number to look for on Bitcoin dominance. All right. About like an hour and a half into the stream. Do you guys have any requests? If not, you know, I might just end the live stream now. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, see how Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin trading at $116,469. We have seen it higher today. We got up to like 116,850 earlier today. Looks like the 21 EMA acted as resistance. You know, this white line was sitting at 116,820. We got a little bit above it, but looks like we got rejected off of it for now. And Medina wants to look at Zeus. Okay, we'll take a look at Zeus. Let's see. All right. But yeah, Bitcoin. We just want to see it how it handles itself when it gets to 117,900. Hopefully it slices through it like a hot knife through butter on its way to like 123k. Well, 117.9k could be area of resistance where Bitcoin kind of chills out for a little bit, like it did back here in the end of July. It just like chilled out and didn't really do much until, you know, July 31st and August 1st when, you know, tariffs came into play again. But I think we're getting a nice recovery so far on Bitcoin, and it wants. I do believe Bitcoin wants to go to higher prices. Well, let's take a look at the Zeus now. Zeus, is that a stock or a crypto? I'm gonna assume it's a crypto because we've been talking about that all day long. Zeus, is that a crypto? I'm gonna wait. Alright, yep, you said crypto. Okay, got it. Alright, so take a look at Zeus on Kraken Exchange here. Zeus currently trading at 13 cents, up 1.87% today. Alright, alright. Looks like it's near the bottom of the barrel, making lower lows. I don't know if I like that. Obviously, you've seen better days here in December. Looks like you first started trading in June. But look at this, right? You got the lows here back in 2024. You got a candlewick low here at 0.137 pennies. I think that was the lowest low in 2024. And then here in 2025, right, we saw this thing on June 26th as low as 0.132 pennies. But now look at this. You're still below. You're now below that as well. So you're still making lower lows. You have not been this low on Zeus, and yikes. I mean, when does the bleeding stop? When does the pain end for Zeus? So you're still making lower lows, obviously, right? So I can just draw that out here. You're making lower lows, right? Are you making higher lows on the RSI? Could there be some bullish divergence? Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think there might. We got RSI. You know, back here in June 22nd, it looks like you're making higher highs on the RSI. Let's see. RSI here 3274, and then right here 3408, 3450. Oh. You are making higher lows on the RSI. You got some bullish divergence showing up here on Zeus. That's promising. That's the start of bottoming out. It means that buyers are showing up and they're liking the price where it's at right now. Okay? The next thing you need to do as far as bottoming out, you need to start making higher highs at some point. Stop doing this. Stop making lower highs. The next high you need to beat, you need to get above 22.5 cents here. Which right now, that's where your 100-day moving average is sitting at. So get above the 100-day moving average and you can start being more bullish on Zeus here. But man, if you get above 22.5 cents, that's almost like a double from where you are right now. So you'll be doing quite fine on that trade right there. Let's see if Market Cipher B is saying now is a good time to buy. You haven't had a green buy dot yet. You had a red dot here on July 24th saying that you should have sold Zeus to avoid the pain the last couple of weeks. But usually after a red dot, what comes next is a green dot. So you're just waiting for a green dot to show up here on Market Cipher B to help confirm that you'll start seeing some better days and better weeks for Zeus to go up to higher prices here. Last time you had a green dot was July 21st. But then, you know, about a few days later, you got a red dot, so that didn't really help. But then, you know, back here on July 8th, you had a green dot as well, and you could have rode that up until the red dot on July 17th here. You know, let's just see. You know, this green dot here on July 8th, you could have bought it at like, you know, 16, 17 cents, and then you could have rolled that up to the red dot here at like 18, almost 19 cents here. Then you had like another green dot on July 21st, which got immediately followed by that red dot on July 24th. Like, oh, okay. So that's Market Cipher B. You're just waiting for the green dot to show up on the daily time frame to confirm that you'll have some better days and better weeks ahead. But let's look at the MACD. See what the MACD is showing. You have the MACD showing that selling pressure, right? You had selling pressure obviously through July, the end of July, going into August now. But look, you got pink candle showing up on MACD. That's showing that the selling pressure is dying down. So that's good to see. You could be catching the bottom here on Zeus. And I like it because if this is the bottom, you can strategically place your stop loss right below this last low here on August 6th. Well, what was that, yesterday? We got down to like 12 cents here. Just put your stop loss at 12 cents. You're not going to risk that much, right? Stop loss from where we are right now to down to 12 cents. You're risking about 8 or 9%. And, you know, you're risking 8 or 9% to possibly try to take this up to at least the most recent high here, or the 100-day moving average, which is at 72%. You know what? This actually looks pretty good to me. I might actually do a day trade on this, trying to catch this bottom. I think you might have found something that I might try to day trade now. See if it plays out. Catching the bottom here. I'm only gonna put like $20 into this trade, but maybe I could use like 10x leverage, and if I do, you know, this 72% gain could turn into 720%. And if that's the case, I could probably make like 150 bucks using $20 of my money. So that's a pretty cool trade to be getting into. John 316, you're saying you're gonna go for a bike ride and smash the like button. ZBCN, oh my god, you always ask for ZBCN and Chronos, but I guess we'll finish off on ZBCN, and then that's gonna be it for today, guys. I think we've done a 2-hour live stream for the most part here, and I think that's gonna be it. You know, we'll look at ZBCN, and that's it. So ZBCN is currently trading at 54,530, down 7% today. Yikes. Okay, but looks like we're coming down to the golden pocket. Maybe we're gonna retest that golden pocket one more time before we try to go up to higher prices here. But ZBCN looks like it's doing quite fine. You're making higher highs on the daily time frame. The last significant high was at 59,577, and then today you got it to like 60,880. So you're doing what you need to do to be bullish and continue the uptrend here. I do want to see what it looks like on the RSI here. RSI is at 60, so you do have room to run to higher prices if you want to. And what did Market Cipher B? Market Cipher B actually says yesterday was a good day to start buying ZBCN, so there could be some more good days and maybe a couple of good weeks ahead for ZBCN. And if ZBCN does have some good days, good weeks coming up, we are trying to see if we can get 71,300 all over again, like we did back here in June. And then you get the 1272 saying that 85,400 should be a take profit target. Maybe take profit target number 2, long-term take profit target should be 103,456, or basically 1 penny. Right now we're basically at a half a penny, right? So ZBCN could be heading towards that 1 penny level later on in 2025. And downside target, looks like you got the 21 EMA at 45,500, which is confluent with the 0.5 retracement. So this could be your downside target. This could be where you could get some cheaper ZBCN if you're inclined to buy some more here. John says you gotta buy Kronos. Okay, well maybe I'll put a leverage trade on it. Okay, maybe I'll do like a long-term swing trade on it. But thank you, John, for your support and your comments and your likes. And let's see. Yep. I think that's gonna be it for this live stream, guys. Appreciate you coming on. Be on the lookout for my next live stream. I usually go live around this time, or if I'm not this time, then later on in the afternoon, around like 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, I think we had a good live stream here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Uh-oh, looks like I got an invitation for a co-host. Oh no. Right now I was about to end the live stream.